Hey everyone, it's Beth. Wanted to come on into my February wrap up. I know there's a couple of days left of February, but I know I'm not going to complete any more books for the next couple of days. I just started a physical book and an audio book yesterday, or Thursday and yesterday, so I know I'm not going to complete them. So the books that I've completed are the ones that I have completed for February. So I wanted to come on and go over those. So the first one is A Well-Tempered Heart, and that's by John Philippe Senker. And this is actually a sequel to The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, which is also a really good book. And this is about a girl named Julia. She all of a sudden starts hearing voices in her head stating, "Help me, go back to the homeland and help me." And what she's referring to is the first book, where Julia goes to her father's homeland in Burma, which is around like India, China, Thailand, and help me find my son. And Julia has no idea what this lady's talking about, but she does go back to Burma. She has a half brother there, Uba, and the book is about her and Uba basically on this journey trying to find this lady and what she's talking about. And basically what this lady is talking about is this lady has passed away, but she's trying to find her son. Her son was forced into the military in Burma when he was 14 years old, and she had never heard from him since. So she wanted to find out, she wanted to, I guess, ease her soul if her son had made it alive or not. And so I won't run it, I won't do any spoilers, but that's basically what it's about. This lady's soul is inside of Julia and is wanting Julia to do this journey for her, basically, and to find out if her son had made it. So it's a really good book. And the first book, The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, is also a really good book, but you don't necessarily have to read that book to understand this one, because this one kind of gives you some tips within the book of what the first one was about, and they did a really good job on explaining what the first one was about without you actually having to read it. But the first book, The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, was really a really good book too. And the next book I read was Three Good Things, and this is by Wendy Francis, and this was an okay book. This is about Ellen, who had just gotten divorced probably about a year earlier, I believe, than when the book started, and her sister Lainey. And Ellen, the one who got divorced, she starts a bakery, and she is still in love with her ex-husband, and she can't seem to force herself to move on. But when her husband comes back and tries to get back together with her, she basically forces herself to get back out there and to date more, because she knows that she was not happy with him. She just missed him. And so she falls for one of her customers, Henry. And Henry is a gardener, basically, a landscaper gardener. And basically throughout the book is about their relationship and her moving on. Henry's wife had passed away, and he's still grieving for her. And so basically both of them are trying to grieve outside of their former marriages. Ellen with her ex-husband, Henry with his prior wife who had passed away. And then also Ellen's sister Lainey is married and has a child, and the sub-story to it is them just kind of getting too comfortable with each other now that they have a baby, and the husband just kind of feeling left out. And he's been working a lot, and Lainey basically is suspecting that he's cheating on her, and so that's just the subplot to the book, and it kind of goes over their marriage. And so yeah, it's an okay book. I would probably give it maybe 3 out of 5, maybe 2.5 out of 5 stars. But it's a good kind of book, like a sister relationship book, because they are so comfortable with each other, Lainey and Ellen, that they tell each other everything. And so I have sisters and sister-in-law, so I definitely related to that relationship that they had. So it was a good book, but I'd give it 2.5 stars out of 5. It was just okay. But it's not very long, 230 pages, so it was kind of an easy read. So it was okay. And 2 other books that I completed, they were audiobooks, and one was Landline, and that book was about Georgie and Neil. They were college sweethearts, but the book takes place like 15 years later. And Georgie is a writer for a sitcom, and Neil is a stay-at-home dad with their 2 daughters. And their marriage is kind of on the rocks because Georgie works all the time, and Neil has to take care of everything with the children and the house and everything. So it's Christmas time. Georgie, they're all supposed to go to Omaha to Neil's family's house, and they live in LA. And at the time they're supposed to leave, Georgie unfortunately says that she can't go due to having to write some scripts for the show. Neil gets mad, but takes the kids anyway. And when he gets there, she tries to call him, but he won't answer. He's very upset with her. So, and instead of her going home, she goes to her mother's house, who lives closer to the studio that she works at. And when she tries to call Neil on her phone in her old room, when she lived at home, she used a landline phone, and it's just this old-fashioned yellow rotary phone. And when she calls Neil, instead of getting current Neil, she gets 1998 Neil. So, and it's kind of a fascinating story because it's kind of cool that you would be able to do that. But so she feels like at first she's very skeptical about it, but then she feels like if she makes things right back in 1998, then the current status would be better, because she feels like her whole marriage, Neil has given up so much for her career and for their family, and she feels like he's resentful, when it really, all it is he wants her around more, and she just doesn't see that. So basically it's about them fixing their relationship, but it's a very interesting book. I liked it a lot. It's good. And then the 4th and final book that I read was Fates and Fury, and that was about Lotto and Matilda's marriage. And the first part of the book is about Lotto, about his childhood, about him growing up, going to college, and then meeting Matilda. They get married. Matilda gives up a lot in order for Lotto to become an actor. He always wanted to become an actor. She's the breadwinner, and she works at this art studio and blah, 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 to try to make money for them. And then he just starts becoming a writer, like a screenwriter or a playwriter, and starts making all this money, so they become happier. So the first half of the book is about Lotto and about Lotto's life. And it's kind of hard to get through that first half because Lotto's life isn't very exciting. It's just about, his life's an open book. Like, he has a normal life, basically. But then if you can get past that and get to Matilda's part, it's more exciting. Matilda's life is full of secrets in the past, and why things that have happened between her and Lotto has happened. Just a lot of secrets become unveiled, and so it's really good. But you have to get past Lotto's life first, which was really hard for me because I almost stopped reading the book or listened to the book because it just drew on for a long time. There were like basically 38 chapters to this book, and for I think like 16 chapters it was Lotto's life. So it was really hard to get through it, but I did, and I'm glad I did, because Matilda's part made the book totally worth it. So that's good. So but that was my monthly wrap up. I only got 3 or 4 books this month. Hopefully March is a better month. So sorry, my cat is trying to get up here. And currently I am reading the Red Book, and that is by, I'm sorry, my cat, Deborah Kogan. So I just started reading this, so I'm not sure totally what it's about, but I just started reading that. Sorry, my cat got in the way there. So yeah, so I think March is going to be a better reading month because I have more time this month to read than I did in February. So, and also I went to see Beautiful, which is the Carole King musical today. And if you are at all interested in, or if you like Carole King's music at all, please go see that musical. It was amazing. The music was great. The girl who portrayed Carole King was amazing. So if you are at all interested in her music, like the Tapestry album, which is one of my favorite albums, which I love very much, although I don't own it, but I do like it. Definitely go see it. It's awesome. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.